Meet Abby Choi, a socialite from the upper echelons of Hong Kong society, renowned worldwide for her captivating presence. She caught the global spotlight with her luxurious lifestyle, a vast following on social media, and a fortune valued at no less than $100 million. Her stunning facial features graced the pages of elite fashion magazines like Vogue and L'Officiel. However, on February 21, 2023, just 2 months before the release of this video, Abby seemingly vanished, leaving everyone puzzled. Hundreds of police officers, including the elite Flying Tigers unit, embarked on a search. It took them just 3 days to uncover a shocking truth. Welcome to my channel, where I explore real crimes and strange phenomena. If you're intrigued, hit the subscribe button and let's dive into this story. Hong Kong is a bustling city home to some of the wealthiest people on the planet. Its skyline, adorned with 7,500 skyscrapers reaching over 100 meters, offers a breathtaking panorama. The affluent elite of Hong Kong enjoys the highest number of Rolls-Royce cars per capita, indulging in the world's finest gourmet restaurants, luxury stores, and private clubs. While the rich bask in opulence, the city also witnesses a growing divide between social classes, leading to social unrest, protests against the government, and calls for greater democracy and equality. Despite these challenges, Hong Kong remains a vibrant and fascinating city with a unique mix of cultures and a thriving economy. Among the city's elite grew Abby Choi, a globally recognized model and representative of Hong Kong's aristocracy. Born on July 11, 1994, as the youngest of 4 daughters in a wealthy family owning numerous construction companies across China, her mother reportedly held many real estate properties and multi-million-dollar assets, providing Abby and her family with a lavish lifestyle. Despite being born into wealth, Abby made a conscious decision from an early age to pursue a media career, embarking on an enthralling journey. In her first Instagram post, Abby Choi showcased a Lady Dior handbag worth $6,000. Gradually, she began sharing photos of herself in the presidential suites of the Ritz-Carlton. Her gentle demeanor and stunning looks quickly won her a large fan base, leading to invitations to exclusive parties with luxury designer brands like Dior. These events were just the tip of the iceberg. She also enjoyed lavish vacations in Bali and attended fashion weekends in Paris. Amidst all this glamour, Abby experienced personal milestones as well. In 2013, at the age of 18, she married a man named Alex Quang. The couple had 2 children, but their marriage was short-lived, ending in divorce after just 3 years. Despite their separation, Abby remained close to Alex and his family, going as far as purchasing a luxurious apartment in one of Hong Kong's wealthiest suburbs for them. This $8 million property, boasting marble floors, walls, and a magnificent courtyard, was a testament to her care and trust as she registered it in Alex's father's name, saving nearly $1 million in the process. Although Abby did not live there, the entire Quang family, including Alex, his new spouse, and their children, called it home. Formally, Quang was merely the trustee, meaning Abby could contest the property ownership if necessary. This arrangement left her in an awkward position, owning the property outright but not benefiting from it. While it secured her children's future, her ex-husband and his relatives essentially became her past's burden, a challenging situation that only seemed to worsen over time. Initially, it might have seemed like a good idea, but the question remained: how long would she have to financially support them? Would it be just a year, 3 years, or even 10? It's time to introduce another member of the Quang family, Alex's older brother, who was 31 at the time and, like the rest of the family. Before Abby's relationship with Alex Quang became strained, Anthony, struggling with unemployment 2 years prior when Abby and Alex's relationship was still strong, was trying to make ends meet. To alleviate his situation, Abby hired him as her personal driver, fostering a friendship between them. This arrangement led to a strong connection, and soon Anthony began referring to Abby as his sister on social media, often sharing photos of them together. He also launched several successful ventures, including a small pancake kiosk in the city's heart, managing it during breaks from his driving duties. Rumors suggested that he amassed a considerable fortune, excelling in both roles. After her divorce, Abby found new love with Chris Tam, exchanging vows in a lavish ceremony in 2016. Recently, they shared wedding photos attended by close family. Chris, a successful entrepreneur from Hong Kong, came from a wealthy family, like Abby. His father was a renowned and highly esteemed restaurant chain founder. Chris and Abby had 2 children together, and despite Abby being a mother to 2 children from previous relationships, all 4 siblings shared love and support for each other. They often spent weekends together, visiting Disneyland and taking luxurious private yacht trips. However, Abby's behind-the-scenes life did not affect her meteoric rise. With her influential connections and substantial capital, she evolved from a fashion icon and media personality into a true media corporation. Her charisma, physique, and sense of style landed her on the covers of many famous magazines, including Harper's Bazaar, L'Official, and Vogue. Nevertheless, behind closed doors, tensions grew between Abby and the Quang family as 2023 approached. The Quangs lived in the house Abby had purchased more than 6 years ago, a situation that increasingly strained their relationship. Abby increasingly found the situation with her former in-laws burdensome. Initially content, as she matured, she realized they were exploiting her generosity, and truthfully, she owed them nothing. When Abby purchased the apartment, she was young, impressionable, and perhaps a bit naive. Rumors circulated that Alex's father had persuaded her to buy the house. Now, she wished to reclaim her property, but this was just one of many unpleasant revelations about the family. Alex's father, Cao, once a respected sergeant in the Hong Kong police force, fell from grace in 2005 when he was accused of assaulting a woman. Rather than confront the allegations, he resigned, and the Hong Kong police conveniently overlooked the charges, resulting in no punishment or reprimand for him. Cao wasn't the only family member with a dubious past. Alex also had his share of troubles. His ventures led him into hiding from the police for several years. In 2015, he attempted to become an investor, targeting gold. However, instead of taking risks himself, he gained the trust of 4 wealthy businessmen. Predictably, they invested over $500,000 in his grand scheme, only for Alex to abscond with the funds. The family's financial misadventures didn't end with Alex. Anthony, Alex's brother, was deep in debt despite being given second and third chances. His lavish spending far exceeded his income, and his Instagram page portrayed a facade of luxury that belied his crippling debts. In 2019, a local bank sued him, and even Alex's mother faced financial ruin, declared bankrupt 3 years prior. The contrast between Abby and her former relatives was stark. Abby achieved international fame and amassed a personal fortune exceeding 100 million Hong Kong dollars, while her ex-husband and his family remained stagnant, financially dependent on her. Envy and resentment are natural human reactions, and although Abby was not responsible for their financial woes, they begrudged her success. Feeling the weight of this imbalance, Abby decided it was time to put an end to the free ride, particularly by reclaiming her $8 million apartment. The conversation with Cao did not go well, to the point where he even threatened to kill Abby if she attempted to reclaim her apartment. Abby was, to put it mildly, very upset by the situation and promptly sought legal advice. However, it became apparent that Abby had a heart of gold as she looked beyond the conflict and began searching for a new home for the family despite their threats. Interestingly, she even had plans to purchase real estate for them. Although it wouldn't match the grandeur of their previous $8 million home, let's be honest, what could they realistically expect? Unfortunately, before her plans could materialize, Abby suddenly disappeared on February 21, 2023. She left early in the morning to pick up her daughter from school, but by the time the final bell rang, there was no sign of her. Despite numerous attempts to contact her via calls and texts, there was no response. This was highly unusual for Abby, known for her attachment to her phone and social media presence, which only deepened the concern among her acquaintances. 2 hours after her disappearance was noted, she was declared missing, and authorities immediately sprang into action. Fortunately, or unfortunately, as is often the case with wealthy individuals, they have their privileges, and thus, over 150 police officers were assigned to the case. It didn't take long for investigators to find the first clue on the CCTV footage from her residential complex. Abby was seen dressed in a white blouse with sleeves, white pants, white slippers, and carrying a purple bag, likely on her way to pick up her daughter from school. Moreover, a car seen in the footage resembled the 7-seater vehicle used by Abby and her driver, Anthony. Questioning Anthony and his family yielded no positive results, as they all claimed not to have seen her since the day she vanished. Despite all efforts, authorities were unable to determine her whereabouts. At one point, officials turned to analyzing the car's GPS data, and what they discovered was incredibly distressing. The vehicle had been driven to a location 30 kilometers away from Hong Kong to the village of Lung Mei. Armed with this suspicious information, dozens of officers were immediately dispatched to search the area. Door-to-door inquiries were conducted throughout the village, surveillance footage from neighbouring houses was meticulously reviewed, and dashcam recordings from all vehicles near local parks were collected. By noon on Friday, 72 hours after Abby's disappearance and just 24 hours after the Lung Mei village became a focal point of interest, detectives turned their attention to a 3-story house. Unfortunately, nothing could have prepared them for the grim scene that awaited inside. Apart from a well-equipped kitchen, the house was empty, with windows, floors and walls concealed by tarps. Without delving into graphic details, it suffices to say that 2 human legs were found in the refrigerator. The kitchen also contained a meat grinder, an electric saw, a cleaver, mallets for meat processing, rain shields, and 2 large pots boiling on the stove, which contained a human skull and various rib bones. The authorities were shocked by the horrifying scene, and as the news spread, speculation and outrage swept the country and then the world. After analysing all the surveillance footage in the area, it was noted that various members of the Quang family were behaving suspiciously. This led to a search for Abby's remains in the vicinity, involving over 100 Hong Kong police officers. The search included divers, tracker dogs, data analysts, and even drones. Unfortunately, their efforts didn't lead to the discovery of her remains. Investigators confirmed their interest in a large plot of land on a hill, but these searches also led nowhere. If there was any doubt, it seems the Quangs are responsible for her death, shockingly involving the entire family except for her own children. The main question now is what exactly happened to Abby on the day of her disappearance? This is the information we have at the moment. Anthony, knowing Abby's daily routine along with the rest of the Quang family, planned to exploit this knowledge to abduct her. Cao, who had threatened her with harm weeks earlier, began preparing this plan. For $1,300, he rented a house in Lung Mei with the clear intent to erase all traces of her murder. According to reports, Anthony took her to the entrance of the Lion Rock Tunnel where Alex was waiting. They continued their journey northeast towards Lung Mei, where they met with their father at the site of that very house. Late in the evening, Abby was declared missing, prompting the police to seek information from the Wongs. The 2 brothers and their father allegedly provided inaccurate statements, raising suspicions when their accounts did not align. 3 days later, authorities searched the house and made a horrifying discovery. Anthony and Cao were arrested on the evening of February 25th. However, Alex remained elusive. As soon as news of the crime spread nationwide, Alex became the city's most wanted man, sparking a citywide manhunt. The authorities offered a reward of 200 million Hong Kong dollars to anyone who could help capture the fugitive. The case became so high profile that members of the city's elite special forces unit, known as the Flying Tigers, were deployed. When it comes to the Tigers, it means there's no other option. Fortunately, Alex was apprehended the next day by officers on a pier as he attempted to flee the country on a border yacht. Found with over 500,000 Hong Kong dollars, luxury watches and jewels worth $4 million, he had planned to escape by bribing a yacht sailor with $13,000. Instead, he ended up in a jail cell. Following the arrest, the police charged Cow, Alex and Anthony with murder. Cow's mistress, suspected of aiding Alex's escape, was also arrested. Charges were brought against 2 more individuals, including the sailor who was supposed to help Alex flee and one of Alex's friends. Following these events, Abby's family, colleagues and numerous friends, including her last husband Chris Tam, offered words of farewell and gratitude. Chris described his wife as a kind-hearted person who always sought to help others and was always supportive and loving. Friends remember her as loving, kind and caring, yet also successful and strong. Abby is survived by 4 children, and as you watch this video, her mother is in court fighting for custody of them to be transferred to the Choi family. If you found this story compelling, don't forget to like and share your thoughts on the case. Thank you for watching.